Hi everybody, welcome back to another Mystified video. Today in this video, I'm going to be taking you through some study tips and motivation to kind of keep yourself up during this hard time. I am currently in my dead week of college, which is the week right before finals, so it's very chaotic. You have a lot of assignments, you're studying for a lot of exams. I was fortunate enough this semester to not have a ton of actual final exams. Most of my finals were group projects or papers or other things like that. So still very time consuming and still take a lot of effort, but it's not as stressful as a one-time test. So I just wanted to make this video really is just a good way to remind yourself that, give yourself grace. You're doing great. Everything will be okay. Everything is going to be just fine. You just have to take deep breaths. So just to start off with some tips that I really like to use, I want to make a disclaimer that these don't work for everyone. These are just some things that have worked really well for me in high school, and then also I've noticed in my first year of college. So the first one that's very important is time management. Time management is so crucial to getting good grades and doing well in school. So what that looks like, at least for me, is just having a calendar of everything that I need to do in a week and making sure that I am keeping up with everything. Also, another really good way to keep up your time management is put in your head that an assignment or a test or something is actually due a day before it actually says it's due on Canvas or whatever your college uses. So that way you're not stressing the last minute, you're not turning it in at 11:58 when it's due at 11:59. No, you don't want to do that. Avoid procrastination at all costs unless that's your main key thing of motivation and you work well under pressure. I don't work well under pressure. I like doing things 2 weeks out in advance. That is a bit excessive, but just doing it at least a day before the deadline. And even if you do work well under pressure, put yourself in the mindset that, let's say it's due on, I'm just going to throw out a random day. Let's say it's due on the 5th. You're going to put in your head or in your calendar or wherever that you store that it's due other than Canvas, put it due as the 4th. So that way you are 100% ready to go, and the next day you can kind of take a de-stress day, watch some Netflix, eat some fun food, and that way you're not stressing the last minute, and you also get to give yourself some time off, which is what I have been able to do this week. So when a lot of people are studying for dead week, I am able to kind of put in a good mix between studying and still having fun and having time to pack up my stuff, which is something that I've been working on a lot lately. That will be in the next video, actually. Little preview. But yeah, it really helps and it really benefits me to always put things that in your head that are due a day early. So the next thing we're going to get into is going to be kind of a split screen. So Shelby's going to put up a Canva document that one of my friends made, and basically it's just keeping up. So let me click screen record. So as I go through these slides, I will kind of talk about them each a little bit. So this is just how a good way to keep up with yourself. We're going to do a little overview. What's the point? You are unique, so each person has their own different styles. Some tips and tricks, a way to prioritize you and your needs before all else. There's good days and bad days, and then questions we're not going to do because, you can leave your questions in the comments and we will answer them there. Okay, so the first thing is your mindset. That is the most crucial part of this whole thing. If you are put in a bad mindset and you go into a test or you're writing a paper and you're just like, I'm going to fail this test. This paper is going to get a 0. I'm doing so bad. I don't know what I'm talking about. Don't have that mindset. Be the most confident person when you walk into your test and know that I'm going to ace this. And even if you don't, you at least had the confidence to probably boost your grade. It is pretty well known that research has shown that people that are more confident that go into something, it could be anything. This could go for job interviews, tests, literally anything under the sun. If people are more confident in what they're talking about or what they're doing, they're going to have a better outcome. So that's a big thing for that. And then you should just also put yourself in a mindset that aligns with your goals. Don't don't be writing a paper over something that you don't believe in, because it's going to show to your professor or whoever is grading your paper that, this isn't something that I really care about. So maybe try and pick a different topic. The next thing we're going to go over is one size fits all. That's not true for anything. Like, it's not true for clothes, it's not true for shoes, and it's definitely not true for study tips. A lot of the things that I'm saying here in this video and that you could find in other study tips and motivation videos, some of the things might work great for you, but at the same time, not everything is going to benefit you or even fit to your needs or your styles. So with that being said, just pick out things that work best for you. Don't listen to what every research says. Don't listen to what every scientist says, because some things might work great, but each person's brain processes differently. So just keep that in mind, that you are very unique. This next one is one of my favorite slides, just also because of the graphics. So just always keep your values in line. And this is like very, very important for me when I'm studying, is to work in a clean space. So don't be studying in your dorm room or in your apartment and it's full of trash and you're like getting distracted because it's so dirty. And if you go to the library, don't have, food scraps everywhere. Like, if you finish something, make sure you go throw it away and then come back. So you can also just come back to whatever you're working on with a fresh eye. Focus on the here and now. When you're working on something, put your effort into whatever you're working on, whether that's a paper or studying your notes for a test. Put your effort into that. Don't be sidetracking on your phone. Don't go to Instagram or TikTok. Keep your eye on the prize and work on that. Also, if you're studying for a test for the next day, don't be thinking about the test you have 3 days after that. Focus on the one that is right at hand, that's in the moment. And then going over time management again, plan out days that you want to study. Don't be like, oh, I have a free hour here, I want to study. No, put that hour aside. Make it known in your brain or even in your calendar, however you organize what you have to do in a day. Be like, okay, this hour from 3 to 4, I am studying, or whatever time works best for you. I'm just throwing out examples here. But yeah, pick actual hours that work best to study. And then also prepare the night before. When you have a test in the morning, especially during finals week, it's very stressful. Some of the tests may be early in the morning. Set out your clothes beforehand, have your backpack packed and ready to go, everything charged up. So that way you can just grab it and walk out the door, and you're not really dilly-dallying around, wasting time that you could, look over your notes one more time, trying to pick out an outfit. Do that the night before. And then prioritize you. So I know I've mentioned this a few times before, but it is very important that you put your mental health and everything before all else. School is very important. We are all in college for a reason. We're paying to go to college because we want a degree in something. But if you're feeling stressed, take that time to go outside and just take a deep breath. It doesn't have to be super lengthy. It can be 5-10 minutes. It doesn't have to be a full hour. But if you feel like you need a full hour to just kind of de-stress, watch a show that you like. Even watch a movie if you have the time. And if you really are just feeling super overwhelmed, make the time to watch that movie that you really enjoy, just to kind of bring up your spirits and help you stay motivated. And that goes for feeling sad, stressed, or lonely. Finals time is also a time where you're kind of secluding yourself to do a lot of studying. Make sure you still reach out to friends that you have, or even family, and just have a good conversation with them. Tell them about something that's not related to your finals. Talk about the weather. I don't care. Just talk about something that is going to get your mind off of the stress that you're feeling. And so the point of this is just to, like I said, it's to put you first, to put your needs first. Your physical health first is also very important. Make sure you're eating at this time. I know I have been skipping meals, and that's a very bad idea. But I think it's very important to have those 3 meals a day, or at least 2. Some people don't eat breakfast. I'm a very big breakfast person. I love to eat breakfast. But yeah, make sure that you are also taking the time out of your studying and out of your busy schedule to eat. It's very important to make yourself some good quality food. Don't just go pick up some food from McDonald's. If you want like a greasy snack, go for it, girl. Like, more power to you. I love a good McChicken at McDonald's, but don't do that as your dinner before a test, especially the night before a test. Make sure you're getting a high protein, high carb meal, because what you eat does help your brain retain information, and it's just very beneficial. So for me, a good example of this is in high school, before the night before I took the ACT or the SAT. It depends on where you live for what you take, but in the Midwest, you take the ACT, and the night before I would go to like Olive Garden or Chipotle or somewhere where you're gonna get a lot of protein and a lot of carbs, because it's gonna give you more energy in the morning. Which the more energy you have, the better you can do on a test, because the more your brain can retain the information that you studied, and also power through that whole way through your test. Let's see. I think we just have a few more slides. I think this might be the last slide, actually. So be nice to yourself. If you do poorly on a test, don't like get all upset. It's okay to be upset in the morning. In the moment. I'm not saying it's like horrible to be upset. Like, cry it out. Crying is actually very healthy for you, but just give yourself grace and just say, okay, I'll do better next time. Chances are that you can always email your professors, or go to their office hours. This also applies for like throughout the rest of the semester. Office hours are kind of tricky at the end of the semester because they have to get their final grades in, but just, give yourself grace. It's my favorite saying, and I think it's just very important that you prioritize you, like I've said before. Just don't punish yourself for if you do poorly in a test. If you do poorly in a test, like, don't, sit in your room and dwell on it. Go out, have fun, get your mind off of it, and just come to your next test. If you have more tests, study a little more or do whatever you can. And then even if it was your last test, come into next semester and be super confident, and start your classes off with a bang. Make sure you go to your classes. Make sure you email your professors. Introduce yourself. Professors really actually like when they get to know your students, and chances are you're going to do more well. You're going to do, yeah, you're going to do well in a class where you actually have a relationship with the professor. So, yeah, I think, yeah, that's the end of the presentation part of it. I thought the Canva presentation would make it a little more interesting, give you guys something to read, and so it's not just me talking the whole time. But yeah, I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you do have any questions for me or Shelby, you can leave them in the comments, since, this is a video. But yeah, I know Shelby also has different styles for studying, so it does differentiate depending on the person. This is just something that I wanted to come in on here and share about, just because studying and motivation is one of my passions. I really like to do well in school. I'm a 4.0 student. It means a lot to me to do well in school, so I think it helps to pass on the tips that I use, or the tips and tricks that I use to maybe help you as well. But thank you for watching this video. Make sure you go check up on the Instagram and watch any videos you haven't yet, because they're all really good at the moment. Look forward to the video for next week, because you're going to be seeing a lot of organization, a lot of packing. Looks great. I have a lot more work to do, as you can see, so I'm going to go get to that. Bye.